Hey, welcome everyone. Today we are going to continue with the richest man in Babylon. Now, we talked about uh, previously that the king had dilemma. He had the people was out of work because if you remember that Babylon was a very very rich place, and one of the things that made it that way, a very um, workable place to live and things like that, is because they spent a lot, the king spent a lot of money on building palaces and building irrigation canals. But now the work's over, and the king was out, fighting his battles, and he finally come back, and the chancellor said, "Hey, we got a little dilemma going on here that we have no work for our workers, so they are people are starting to run out of money." And he says, "Okay, well, why don't we tax the rich?" Well, he figured out shortly that that doesn't work because once the money's gone, nobody has any money. Okay, so he says, we need to teach people how to be wealthy. So there is a few guys that became wealthy over that time. So they called the richest man in Babylon, which was Arcade. Okay, it's Arkad. I think that's how pronounced it's Arcade. Well, the story continues. He got 100 teachers in the Temple of Learning, and he starts to proceed and teaching him. And the lesson today is on fattening your purse, or let thy purse fatten. He said that he started out as a tablet writer. What he did, he wrote things on clay tablets, and that was his job. And then that's how he said he made his first copper, because apparently they must trade copper back then as a currency. Then he started going around the room and asking each and everyone, "What do you do for a living?" But basically, everybody had a trade, or they had something that they did that they made their money. No different than what he said. You just like me, but this is what I learned. He did run across one guy. What he did. He was an egg collector, where he gathered eggs, and he told the guy, if you take and you got 10 eggs, and you went out and you sold 9 or whatever you did with them, you used up 9. Go back, fill it up with another 10 eggs, and use 9, and you keep repeating that process. So what's going to happen? So, well, my basket become overflowing. Well, he said, well, that's how you fatten a lean purse. So if you have 10 coins, you learn to live on 9. You use 9 and save 1. And you keep doing that, what happens is your purse starts to fatten. And that was a real easy lesson for them to understand. He said, then you take, and then he said, but if you go out and you spend that money on things that are not important, the things that you want right away, because we're in this instant gratification thing, and if we spend it on the things we want right away, pretty soon that just becomes unimportant to us, and it has no value. But if you start taking that money that you have saved, that 1/10, and it starts to build, now he says you can go out and make children. Basically what he's saying is you go out and invest it. You can buy land, property, whatever you think that will help that grow. So I thought that was a pretty good lesson about fattening a lean purse. And we just, that's what we need to learn in our lives today. Now, I know, some of us are young and we can start now, and we can take that principle and we probably become rich pretty fast. But there's some of us that did not do that, and it's later in life. In the job that we have now, it doesn't build as fast as when we were younger. Okay. So we have to be a little bit more aggressive in finding a, so-called income that we could get our purse fatten a little faster. And, basically that's what happened to me. I never learned this lesson. I'm just reading this book. I said, my gosh, if I could have learned this back when I was 20, I wouldn't have had to be working for 40 years, working from paycheck to paycheck and not understanding why I can't get ahead. So I have to be a little bit more aggressive. Well, there is things out there or jobs you can do. You talk about, you could be at McDonald's, working at McDonald's with $5 an hour. If you whistled, if you took trash out, maybe they'll give you 6. I don't know. But you really, sometimes that's just not enough to make, for a young kid, it's okay. That's a good job. I mean, they can learn from that point. But guys like me, I have to do a little quicker because, I'm 62 years old. How much time do I got? So I had to find something out there where I can develop the skills that I can make more money quicker. And of course, that's a little bit because I've been looking to see what I can find. So I can put these principles to work, and it's just going to work quicker. Because obviously, if the guy's making $5 an hour at McDonald's, can he make $50 an hour? I think I've talked about this before. Yes, because there's people that's making $50 an hour. What they had to do is that they improved their skills. They did the studies, whatever it took to improve their value in the marketplace to $50 an hour. Now, if you take and can that person learn to make 10 times that much? Yes, he can, because all he has to do is learn the skills, because there's guys out there doing it. Well, I found people who are doing it, making I figured it out to doing over $470 an hour, and then working 3 hours a day and getting the income they want. So I said, like the guys back there I talked about that were depressed because they wasn't getting anywhere, and they went to talk to the rich man and learn how he got rich. I seek those who are doing that. And what I did is that I started to do a business and follow these guys' lead. And it could take me a little bit because I have to learn the skills. But with this business, they have the products, they have the training, and they have the coaching. So that's 3 good things I like about what I found in this business. So, hey, if you're interested in what I'm doing and what I'm talking about, hey, there's a button down below. Just go check it out. And it might be before you. It might be for you. It might not. But if you're not anybody who wants to work hard or wants to learn, or are one of these guys that just think they know it all and are skeptical and are just not willing to show a little bit of humility, don't go looking, because we don't want to work with you. I mean, that's being a little blunt, but you're wasting our time. And I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to waste your time. But if you really want something that can make a difference in your life, go down, click the button below, and come check us out. Okay? With that said, you guys, till the next chapter in The Richest Man in Babylon.